Today, not only are we going to be making the greatest green bean casserole in the world, but I'll also be adding in my best make-ahead tips to the mix to get my hostesses ahead of the holiday rush. The first thing you're going to do is chop up one yellow onion, make sure it's good and finely diced, and then you'll also cut up 8 ounces of white button mushrooms. I like to go ahead and get the mushrooms that are already sliced and clean because it saves on prep time and they're easier to work with. For this recipe, I also like to get my green beans already snipped and pre-washed so that I can just go right to chopping. Which brings me to my first make-ahead tip. You can chop your fresh veggies 2 days in advance and store them refrigerated in an airtight container. Another prep item you can go ahead and get out of the way in advance is grating cheese. Freshly grated cheese has better flavor and better texture. We're gonna grate about 8 ounces of cheddar cheese, and you can store that in your refrigerator in an airtight container 3 to 4 days in advance. Next, we're going to cook the green beans and make the filling. You'll add the prepared green beans to a boiling pot of water and you'll let them cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then remove them from the stovetop and strain. To make the sauce, you're going to add butter to a large saucepan over medium heat and allow that butter to melt. Add the onions and the mushrooms to the saucepan and cook for about 5 to 7 minutes until softened, stirring occasionally. Then you'll sprinkle over 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour and stir until that flour evenly coats the vegetables. Add in 2.5 cups of heavy whipping cream, one big splash at a time, stirring until smooth after each addition. Then you'll add in the chicken broth and you'll just stir to combine. Remove the sauce from the heat and you'll stir in 1 cup of the cheddar cheese, 1.5 teaspoon kosher salt, 1 teaspoon black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of soy sauce. You'll also add in the green beans and you're gonna stir the whole thing together. I used an oven-safe dish to whip up my filling, but at this point, if your dish is not oven-safe, you would transfer the contents of your pan to a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish. And in comes our next make-ahead tip. This filling can be fully assembled 24 hours in advance. Just wait until it is no longer piping hot, cover the dish with aluminum foil, and pop it in the fridge. The next day, you'll pull the casserole out of the oven and you'll let it sit on the counter at room temperature for about 30 minutes to remove the chill. Add the remaining cheese to the top, cover the pan, and you'll transfer it to a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven. Bake the casserole for 25 minutes, then remove it from the oven, add your French fried onions, and then you'll return it back to the oven uncovered to bake for an additional 10 minutes. At this point, you would just want to let your green bean casserole cool for about 10 minutes and then you can serve, or you could place aluminum foil back on the casserole and pop it in a warming drawer for up to 45 minutes. If you found these tips helpful, give this video a like, and if you're looking for the written recipe, you can find it in the description below.